Welcome, Brian. How's it going?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
We are here to present the brand new album from Placebo and Loud Like Love. Few words to describe it in your opinion.
It's a very colorful record, I think. Sonically, it's quite eclectic. It's a very honest and direct record. It's emotional and vulnerable.
Something that I discovered through new production of different bands, there's a lot of positive feelings inside nowadays music biz. How is possible with all the crisis? In the lyrics.
Is there really?
Yeah. how,
Do you mean in the industry?
Yeah, in the industry.
Well, I just think the industry is adapting, to new technology as it always has. I mean, there was a time when the new technology was sheet music, and that was kind of the albums of that era, Sheet music was created so that people could play the songs they loved at home, and then technology has just evolved from there. And I think the industry is just adapting slowly to the new technology that's coming out. The technology itself is moving so fast that it's, I think, difficult for the industry to keep up with it, but they are adapting.
Talking about the first single, Too Many Friends, its lyrics made me think a lot. I heard that you said that it's a song about against social
No, I
network.
never said it was against social
I
networking.
thought so. Can you explain why?
People think that I'm against technology, but I'm not. I'm fascinated by technology, and technology has made my life in many ways, has improved it, Video conferencing, for example, I'm able to stay in touch with people who are very important to me in a much more intimate way. And technology in the recording studio is another example that has made our lives, it's enriched our lives, I don't think that technology is the problem. I think the problem is the same as it has been since the beginning of time. And unfortunately, the problem is human beings. It's how they use the technology. The internet is a fantastic platform, but it's very democratic. It's provided a voice for the forces of tolerance in this world, but it has also provided an equal voice for the forces of hatred. This is natural. This is the yin and yang, if you will, of everything, of life. The microcosm that technology is and the effect that it has on us as a society and as a community is a reflection of that. And I personally am very fascinated by how it has affected us as a community. If you think back, let's say, 100 years, community was a very, very different thing. It existed in the physical world, in the real world. Society was community-based. That was how people interacted with each other. These days, community is virtual, more and more so. People don't know their neighbors. They know thousands of people that they've never met. This is really interesting. It's such a change, such an enormous change, that I can't help as an observer of human beings, because that's what I write about. I write about people. I can't help but be completely fascinated by this. It's a very exciting time to live in because it's moving so fast.
Do you think that maybe the disease of this age is that sometimes it's easier to say, I'm alone, I have no friends, than caring about people that love you?
Ooh, that's a difficult question to answer. I think if you have the attitude that I'm alone and I have no friends, that's a self-pitying attitude, You have to make an effort to have friends, to connect with people in the real world. It takes effort. And because you can't control it, you can't control the outcome of physical connection and interaction like you can on the internet. On the internet, you can edit yourself and you can present yourself in the way that you wish to be perceived. In the real world, you can't do that, So you have to take a risk. You have to be vulnerable with someone else in order to make a real emotional and physical, an emotional connection in the physical world. Now, the thing is that it's much easier to not do that. The screen of a smartphone or of a tablet, it's bright, it's seductive. I know. I love my smartphone and my tablet, and I use it for work, and I use it for personal things. But when I go to a restaurant, my smartphone stays in my bag. You know, I want to connect. I'm not against the smartphone. You know, it's extremely useful. It's a great piece of technology. That's essentially the malaise. People are letting themselves be seduced, you know? And I think that's what I'm trying to say, you know? Real physical contact, real connection in the physical world, excuse me, because physical contact might be interpreted as something else, which is great. But that it takes effort, and perhaps some of us are getting out of practice with it. You know, I was in a coffee house 3 days ago, okay, and I saw something that blew my mind. The guy before me, he ordered his coffee, he got his coffee. The whole time, yeah, he had his smartphone, and he had all of his messages up, you know. Then he goes over to the area where you get the sugar and the sweetener and the stirrer, right? And he couldn't put sugar in his coffee and stir it without checking his messages at the same time, you know. This is intense. This is amazing. It's incredible how powerful, you know, this technology has become. And it's insidious. It's everywhere. So it's our relationship to it, I think, that is significant.
Talking about a record, what's Bosco about?
Bosco is about a relationship that is torn apart by addiction. It's a search for redemption and an apology.
What's the scariest addiction in your opinion?
The scariest in terms of
everyday life you can step into, like an addiction you can easily step into.
I think the scariest addiction on this planet is to alcohol, because alcohol is a very addictive drug, and it ruins families and it ruins relationships. And it is socially acceptable, and it is easy to find. Controlled substances, other drugs, are more difficult to get, and it's a crime to buy them. But alcohol is everywhere, and if you are unfortunate enough to become addicted to it, it can be disastrous. And there is still a stigma attached to alcohol addiction, or addiction in general. It is perceived as, an addict is perceived as being somebody of weak moral fiber. But the fact of the matter is that the World Health Organization has classified addiction as a disease. And there are statistics on this. On the planet, on average, 1 person out of 10 is addicted to something, whether it's alcohol, illegal drugs, sugar, sex, pornography. The list goes on and on and on and on. It's a very real problem in our society, and I don't believe that until we take this stigma away from it, that people can really get the help that they need, because it's a disease like any other disease. If somebody gets cancer, nobody goes, "Hey, it's your fault, man." You know? And it's exactly the same thing with addiction. And I think we have a comedian and an actor in the UK called Russell Brand. He's quite famous, and he is campaigning for abstinence-based programs to be funded by the government a lot more, and campaigning for the stigma to be taken away And I have a great deal of respect for him, for that matter. And he's very, very, very funny.
Which is the song in the record you feel closer to, and the song that best represent you right now in your career?
Bosco.
And also in your career, in your whole career?
Well, for me, Bosco is a career-defining moment.
Okay.
It sounds the least like Placebo.
Okay.
It is a piano song with strings. There's hardly any guitar on it, you know? It's very minimalist. It's very long. And I think it's the one song that can transcend our identity and exist in its own context without the necessary context of the band to give it meaning. So every band tries to write that one classic song, you know, and if you're lucky, you get to do it once in your career. Fleetwood Mac, I think, have done it many times, you know, but hey, they're geniuses. And we may have got close to that classic song with Bosco. It may not be super classic because it's 7 minutes long, but that felt like the right amount of time to tell the story that needed to be told.
What about looking at yourself like 20 years ago, when you see something that happened maybe 20 years ago when you were starting the Placebo project, what's the first thing that come into your mind?
Disbelief. I thought this can't be happening, you know. I thought, wow, you know, we're really pulling the wool over everybody's eyes, you know. Somebody's going to find out sooner or later, you know, that that this isn't real, and it's not going to continue. So let's just enjoy it as much as we can right now, you know. We didn't think that we would be as successful as we were on our first album. It wasn't our motivation. Our motivation was not to get a real job, not to have to work in an office. That was our motivation. And we would have been happy to just be able to pay the rent and buy food by making music. But we became very successful very early on in our careers. And at that point, I thought, wow, I don't think this is going to last, so let's just go for it, man, you know? And go for it we did.
Now it's 20 years.
Yes. It's a very privileged position to be in, and I'm very grateful. It's fantastic to be able to, after 20 years, to still write music that people want to hear and want to listen to and that people can connect with.
In which ways do you think you've become a better man?
Wow.
If so.
Well, everybody hopes that one becomes a better man, you know. I'm not as naive as I was, which is probably a good thing. And my capacity to have empathy with others has improved. So, and it's a great thing to have as a songwriter. You know, I think, you know, a lot of people will probably disagree, but I think I'm getting better as a songwriter. So perhaps that answers your enormous question.
Brian, thank you so much for the time you gave us. Loud Like Love is out. You're going to come in Bologna November 23rd. We wait for you. Thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.